happy Irish Whiskey Day to everyone. This is a pretty informal gathering tonight. Just thought we'd take advantage of the opportunity since this fell on a Friday this year, and give us a chance to get together and chat for a little bit. So what I thought we would do is we can go around, see what people are drinking, and then we can talk a little bit about the history of the day and any other stories people might want to share, some other things we can talk about. But I'll start. Let me pour, then we can do a quick toast. I'm going to start with Glendalough 7-year-old Black Pits. So my objective tonight along the way with this is to do a bottle kill. So I've got three bottles that are on their last legs. So I figured I'd use this as an opportunity. So this is the last of they don't make this anymore. This is the 7-year-old single malt from Glendalough that was aged in black porter casks. So rest in peace on that. So let's do this. So Sláinte everyone, happy Irish Whiskey Day. What are others starting off the night with? Hank, what are you starting with?
Starting with a little red silky cask drink.
Ah, nice.
Drinking on ice because that's the way James from Sleeve Leave loves to drink his whiskey. So, okay. And it's also like cask drink over ice anyway. So,
I have not tried the cask strength version of that yet.
It's actually the second release, so it's got a couple different wine finishes. I like it better than the original red silky. It's really nice.
Okay, yeah, I saw that, and they just did a private release too. That's in a different red wine. I just saw. I thought I read about one they were doing for what is it, for the three drinkers?
That's this.
Okay, that's that one. Okay,
yeah, this is what they did.
Okay, you got that.
When I was up there, they told me about the three drinkers experience, so that was kind of interesting.
Okay, yeah, I kind of have a future blog post about that.
How disappointing that the Irish version was.
No, I'll be honest with you, I have not watched it. Why have you? Is that the?
Yeah, I watched them in Scotland. It was all about whiskey, and in Ireland, they didn't talk about whiskey hardly at all. They barely did. They did a very little bit of it. But like when they did, they never even talked about red silky. They talked about their gin, and they talked about their harvesting of seaweed, and they went out and did that. So it was more artsy and food and less about Irish whiskey.
Okay. All right. Well, I won't. If we get snowed in tomorrow, I still might check it out, but
there you go.
We'll see. Who would like to go next? Dawn, welcome. What are you drinking tonight with us?
Me?
Yes.
I started a little early with a couple of sips of Kilbeggan, and I went to some Teelings. For this toast, I'm having this Midleton Very Rare. My wife got me for Christmas.
Oh, very nice.
Which is very nice.
Very nice.
And then
nice.
As a follow-up to that, I've got a Knophogue 16 that I'm going to tip off. So that's very good. I've enjoyed that a lot. So,
all right, great. Joe, what have you got in your glass tonight?
I just went with the IWSA 10-year anniversary.
All right, nice shameless plug. Thank you.
I know, it's just
Frank, what are you drinking tonight?
Well, Dawn's got me on this one. I'm going with the Knophogue 14.
Very good.
But that's okay.
Yep, plenty to go around.
I'm working my way up.
Yeah. The teamies are with us today. Would you guys like to represent?
We're new. This is our first time on Irish Whiskey Society
Yes, welcome.
event. Again, but
Good to see you again.
yeah. So I'm starting off with Gelston's 25-year-old, and
Oh, nice.
Nice.
I went right to the red breast. Sorry, my fave.
I don't think
and-
you ever have to apologize for Redbreast.
Never.
And last but not least, I dug
Yeah.
back into some samples. So this is my second last sample of a 17-year-old Connemara that came out in 2009. It was a sherry cask finish. I had forgotten how good it is, and I'm sad that I only have one more little sample bottle of it left.
Was that one of the single casks?
Yeah, it came out from Celtic Whiskey Shop in 2009. So I had bought that, some Midleton and Locks at the same time. So I'm looking through samples and going, oh, I still have some of this. It should be good.
Yeah,
There it is.
you can find that. I don't know about that particular one, but the Celtic Whiskey Bar in Killarney has a lot of those single casks still on the shelf that you can order.
I think they do have this one because I was looking it up. The only other, I did find another Connemara single cask in Folsom a couple of years ago as well, which was, or not Folsom, out in Granite Bay, so Northern California. It was quite surprising, a 14-year-old one. So I said, well, I'll go buy that. Also from the same time period, so distilled August 92, but obviously bottled earlier.
Yeah. Interesting. Are you a fan of that particular brand, or are all peated, or?
More on the peated side. So I have a couple of other Connemaras here and there, but it's not something I would necessarily go out and buy. Usually if I want peat, I will go slightly across the water. Lefroy, Garbeg, Gulila, stuff like that. At least now we're seeing more peated Irish whiskies coming out with the Silkies, with the stuff from Killowen, this Teeling, even like Waterford's recent peated ones are nice. They're just different, I think. As you get more associated with different peat gives different flavors, you can then temper to what you do like or don't like, because a lot of people don't like the iodine and Band-Aid. More fool them.
Yes.
we just got that Ecklandville short cross peated cask.
That is good.
Very
Yes.
good.
Yeah.
I'm even proudly wearing, let's see if I can stand up at this. My new job, I hope, the Minister for Peace.
Sweet.
I just need the Irish government to actually form that role and then assign it to me, but I've already got the t-shirt, so it's a good start.
All right. Well, we know who to go to now for all things peat.
I think there's other peated fans on this call as well, specifically right below me on the Zoom call with the big Ardbeg sign behind them, and I see Greg in the hand as well.
We're only, this is Irish Whiskey Day. We're supposed to stick to Irish, but that's okay.
I did.
There's plenty of great Irish peated whiskey.
Yeah, there's more coming. I think it'll be interesting. You know, a lot of the stuff on the West Coast hasn't really hit market yet. You know, it's like Mickle and some of them that are their stuff still sourced from, you know, Great Northern, but when they release their stuff, it'll be interesting. There's a couple others too.
Yeah, I think the main difference will be finally we're getting to the point where there's Irish peat
Right.
in the Irish whiskey, whereas previously even the Connemara, the malt was peated in
Right.
other countries.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting because most people, you know, wouldn't have ever had Irish peat, so it could be a completely different animal than what peat lovers are used to.
The little black pits from Teeling,
That's nice too.
the cast strength one.
Oh, really? Okay. So we've got some cast strength fans.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I have the regular. I have not tried the cast strength of that either.
Yeah, I haven't tried the cask either. I've only seen the regular.
Same here.
It's way better than the regular.
I agree.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
so
What's that clock in at? What's the strength on that one?
Here, you got better eyes than I do.
It says 56.5.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a real funky font, so it's all scrunched together.
I thought they did a real good job with that, balancing it. with the wine finish. I think it works well for people, especially if you're just being introduced to peat. You know, it's a nice way to introduce you to the style.
I find that to me, peat cask drinks need less of a little water softening. They just taste nice right straight out of the bottle.
So
The silky, yeah, the dark silky cast strength is really good too.
Yeah.
is everybody on tonight? Are you familiar with the young history of Irish Whiskey Day?
Nope. Surprisingly, I'm not aware of it. Every day is Irish Whiskey Day, but do tell.
Irish whiskey every day.
Yeah, so this is the official, maybe the Hallmark version, but so it's I guess this is technically the 8th year, maybe officially celebrating it. It started in 2016, and it really was just kind of came about, I think, as as Irish whiskey was starting to take off, and Stuart McNamara, who's a prominent writer, blogger, and now one of the directors at Port McGee Whiskey, but he basically was the brainchild behind it, launched it. And initially it was, I think it's really just exploded over the last few years. It created the social media handle for it. And now it's just got tons of followers, and it's really become its own thing. But really where it came from was the reason we're doing this today is it's March 3rd. So it's really a play off the number 3. And just the whole idea that, at least back then, maybe, I think it's starting to, it's branching out more, but the number 3 with typically an Irish whiskey, triple distilled, has to be aged 3 years. 3 styles of Irish whiskey: single grain, single pot still, single malt. Blend is a combination of one of 2 of those. So just that whole part of 3, and then 3 with the symbolism of 3 with Ireland itself, with the shamrock and the flag. So, I think the playing off that whole 3 March 3rd worked, 3-3, and, it was kind of a nice 2-week precursor to St. Patrick's Day. So, again, it's not, most holidays well, I shouldn't say most, a lot of holidays, have religious beginnings and things like that, like St. Patrick's, for example. This one, I think, was born just out of Irish whiskey. So, as opposed to a holiday where we've kind of taken it over and you drink at it, this one was a holiday for Irish whiskey. So, even better. So, but that's really all there is to it. I think it's just a day too that's exclusive for Irish whiskey, because there is World Whiskey Day and some others. So this one, it's really just about Irish. So, so thanks for joining, everyone. We had a bunch of people. I think there must be the storm that we're going to get here in Boston tomorrow must be hitting hard out there. I know there were some problems in Texas, and a couple other people texted me right beforehand and said that they just lost power and internet and everything. So we had a bunch of people that couldn't join. So
Hopefully they are drinking Irish whiskey wherever they are.
Yeah, by candlelight.
I know we're in Indianapolis, and it's just
All day.
all day it's rained, and now it's like 30 degrees. So now it's starting to sleet and snow.
Bottom out. Yeah.
So it's the crap coming at you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, well, that's okay. I'm supposed to be going. I'm taking my parents to the airport tomorrow. Hopefully the flight gets out. Anybody have any recent purchases that they've made of Irish whiskey that are interesting, or that they've been kind of looking to get?
Well, not technically Irish whiskey yet because it's not old enough. I did bring back a few bottles from Blaylock when I was home last. So I think they're all about 2.5 years old. It was their second series of releases. So those I will be interested to try.
And did you get them from them? Are they, because they're not in the retail, are they?
They ship within Ireland, so I just have them sent to my parents' house. And as with everything else that I had stockpiled there, each time I go back, I bring my dad wine, and I come back and fill the same amount of whiskey in my suitcases, and well, actually more, and bring it back. So yeah, they don't ship internationally yet, so just within Ireland.
Okay.
I grabbed and I probably will butcher the name, the Baelish collection. They're up in Donegal, and they released 3 new ones. One, a pot, a single, a malt pot still. I don't think they're all even 3 years old.
We might be speaking about the same whiskies.
Okay.
Let me bring a bottle over and see if it's similar to what you have.
Yeah.
Did you pick it up while you were over there?
No, I have him ship it to Peated James Fox, and then he sends it over to me.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So anything that I can't get myself, I'll ship to him, and then make sure I'm buying, 3 or 4 bottles. Yep, that's it.
Yep.
It's really interesting stuff.
I haven't opened them yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I really enjoy them.
Is all of it peated?
Yeah.
I think they've different levels of peat through them.
Yeah.
And then there was also a poitín called the Creature, which I grabbed as well.
That one I haven't had, but I've heard lots of great things about that one. I'd love to hear what you think of that one. But like I have the new, for Cullen had the one at their cask that James Fox got some of, that's the Opus 1. A new single grain finished in the local stout. Wait until I get a couple other things from that. The Waterford new was pretty good. I got the new Thomason cask from W.D. O'Connell. That's all good. So, yeah, those are some of the newer ones. I tried the dirt grain stuff too.
Is it good? I have it, but I haven't gotten around to opening it yet.
Okay. Interesting.
So like I said, we did get a bottle of this new single cask from Redmond Estate, the Short Cross Peated malt.
Very lightly peated, very lightly.
Yeah, they say it's really peated. I'm like, it's not peated.
No.
But it was finished in a orange liqueur cognac cask. And it's
Delicious.
it's
Am I right, Ian? Come on.
Yes, it is delicious, especially with chocolate covered orange. It pairs
I
well
just
with
had that.
any water the peat goes.
Yeah.
But very, very interesting.
Okay. Yeah, so some of the newer makers. Is anybody planning on, I don't know if we have any Midleton Very Rare fans, do any of you buy the vintage each year of that?
Not each year, I get it on occasion, but I do have a funny Midleton story to share.
Sure.
So when I was, seeing the woman that eventually became my wife, I came out to America and I brought her father a bottle of Midleton Very Rare. It was probably a 97, 98, something like that. And he did not like it. He shared it with his friends. None of them liked it. None of them liked it at all. He couldn't stand it. Over the years, starting with Redbreast, he slowly got into Irish whiskey again. So now he's happy for me to buy him Midleton Very Rare, but he just never liked it the first time he tried it.
Well, you weren't married to his daughter yet then either, right? so maybe that was the turning point.
Could well be.
Yeah, we don't collect them per se because we just drink them as soon as we get them. But, we've had them for the last, 10 years or so at least.
Lovely.
Except now I have this 2017 sitting on the shelf sealed that I don't think I can open because a freaking thing is more valuable than a dream cask right now. You seen what the 2017s have done at auction?
Only because they changed the packaging.
I know, but I mean, so what? But it's $1,000 a bottle now at auction.
Yeah, they've really exploded. I mean, the 2009 has, because of the short production run that year. I've seen that go for, I think, as high as $3 at least at auction. So I thought the same thing might happen to the 2020 version, I want to say, because of COVID. It was really hard to get, and they didn't do much of a run on that. But I haven't really seen that one spike up like I thought it might. But
I still have a couple of those, so I'm not too worried.
I think at this point, anyone that's collecting them to trade or flip or auction off is now buying them when they come out.
Mhm.
So it'll be the older ones, I think, that will always be harder to find. It'll be interesting to see what this year's sustainable cardboard box does, because again, the liquid inside isn't changing. So
I'm not seeing too many positive reviews about the packaging, which kind of surprised me. A lot of people, nobody seems to like the new packaging. I get it. Almost seems like those are the people that are collecting, not drinking, because they're more concerned about the container it's in. So I thought that was interesting.
You mean like that new Jameson 15?
that one's
Cardboard?
interesting to me, the cardboard and newspaper, because I'll drink it and I'll get rid of it. But I think with Midleton, when they switched from the normal wood to the big fancier wood in 2017, it came with a price increase.
Yeah, and it didn't
When
go
they switched from the fancy wood to the cardboard, no price decrease.
Yeah, well, you could make a case, I suppose. I'll put my business hat on that it would have gone up otherwise. The fact that it didn't go up is still inflation, right?
Yeah.
But just look at it this way: you're helping the environment, right? All right, I am going to go on to number 2 and number 2 bottle kill maybe here. Has anyone had? This is the Patty share. Came out about a year or so ago.
Tried it at Whiskey Live.
Yeah, so about a pour left in this. So
I'm doing my little tasting glasses, so my second one didn't last as long. I did the Lakeview Single Estate.
oh, what do you think of that?
I love it.
Yeah, I have we did that at our year-end in-home tasting. And I had tried that when I was out there in the summer, so I was looking forward to being able to pick up a bottle.
Yeah. So I had that one, and now I moved on to WD O'Connell 20-year rum cask.
Okay.
I have that, but I haven't opened it yet, but it's meant to be good.
Yeah, it's very, very good.
Yeah, I'm gonna hopefully talk to the WD guys the end of the month. They're gonna be here in Massachusetts. They're launching in the state. They haven't been here up to now, so I've had to order everything from them. So that'll be good. It'll be on the shelves here. I'm not sure yet which varieties. I know the Bill Fill is going to be one.
They usually do the Bill Fill in their grain.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Those are usually the two that are that you can get in California, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
The 10-year.
Yeah, I have batch 1 of the Bill Fill.
That's an unbelievable batch.
Well, then I tried the most recent one when I was over in Ireland. Quite a difference, because they're up to, I don't even know which one it is now. Is it 5 they're up to?
You're on 5, yeah.
Yeah. So, definitely see the progression.
Gotta go see what sample number 2 will be.
So
Open up your new one.
Which one? I'll take suggestions. What should I open?
The one I can't pronounce.
Boylock? Okay.
Yeah.
So the one I
Which
have
one are
right
you
in
gonna
front of
do?
me is the pot still one.
Okay, yeah.
and now is this theirs or is this
It's there. So it's probably 2.5 years old, I think.
so
Because they're all listed as Donegal Mountain due rather than being a whiskey because they haven't hit the 3-year mark yet.
Okay.
Smells very cereally.
That's good. Another.
This, of course, means I'll have to open the other 2 bottles over the weekend as well to try all 3 against each other, and then the Puccini as
Sorry
well.
about that.
Oh no, that's good. I often need a reason to go and open things.
I would say you really twisted his arm.
I saw that, right?
What do people do for St. Patrick's Day? I'm always curious about this. Is it big deal, low key? How do people celebrate, or do you celebrate?
So we have
I
friends.
st-
Go ahead. Go ahead, Joe.
I was gonna say I stay away from the amateur hours at the bars and just cook a corned beef and enjoy some Guinness at home and
Yeah, we hate people, so we just hide in the basement, drink whiskey.
I make a point of not wearing green and seeing if anyone will pinch me because apparently that's an American thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have friends that we used to visit them at a bar in Charlotte. I live in Raleigh, it's 2.5 hours away, but I had a friend that coached the hockey team down there, so we'd go a lot. And a bunch of the bartenders there opened a new pub in a small town, even farther outside of Charlotte. And we go there. It's not super crazy crowded. It's grown-ups, and we've been there for 5 out of the 6 years that they've been open.
Yeah, it sounds like fun. Yeah, I kind of went, Joe, the similar route as you. It's gotten a little too crazy, particularly here in Boston, when the lines started to form at 5 a.m. around the block and stuff. It's just a little too amateur hour. Either that or I'm just getting old, or both. But
I remember many years ago going into town in Dublin, and I was going into a pub. I may have to drop soon. There was an Irishman appearing at my door, and we went to go into a bar, and the bench said, "You can't come in, you've been drinking." I'm like, "Of course I've been drinking. It's St. Patrick's Day." It's like, ha. Anyway, gentlemen, ladies, I must leave you. As I said, there's a guy at my door. We are going out for some beer. He's just back from Ireland. So enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will continue to drink Irish whiskey with you all virtually. Bye.
thanks for joining. See you next time.
Sounds good.
Okay. Oh.
Hey, Bill.
Hey, Allan, how are you?
Good, thank you. You just in time. We just had somebody who had to leave, and you joined. So,
Oh, I see. Yep.
everyone,
that means strength, right?
welcome, Bill.
Welcome.
Yes, Salante.
Contact.
What?
Yeah.
What
How's
do you,
everybody tonight? What am I? I'm trying the Crescent that you brought back from Ireland.
nice.
So,
I recommend everybody should have a bottle of that on their shelves.
yeah, they should. Yeah,
Bring it back from duty free because you can't get it here.
right. No, looking forward to it. So I just got in from being outside, so I'm looking forward to trying it.
We were just talking about St. Patrick's Day a little bit and what people do to celebrate or don't celebrate. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'll post something ahead of the day, but I just think it's interesting how it went from being a very solemn religious holiday in Ireland to craziness and green beer.
Yeah, I know.
I should take
Ooh.
what a green beer. Yes, yay or nay?
Nay,
Nay.
No, sorry, everybody.
I did go see my daughter in Chicago when she lived there last year and saw the Green River. That was interesting, but I certainly wasn't drinking.
Just asking you a question.
No, I was going to say
That's not beer.
Green River is fine,
Everybody.
but no for green beer. I was going to say,
Here we go.
make your cocktails green. That's the way you should do it. But yeah, I guess that's the Americanized version of the holiday, what we've done to it a little bit, right? Has anyone else moved on to a second one? I think, Don, you were gonna go to.
Yeah, I got-
It's open, it's almost
not to
empty.
the Napo.
Went on to the High and Wicked Wild Rover.
Is that the grain version?
Pardon?
That the single grain version? Or the?
No, that's the Aeneas coffee.
Okay,
It's the single grain version.
yeah, I had that a few weeks ago.
Yeah, we've killed a couple of those bottles. I love single grains. This is, I can't read. I don't have my glasses down here.
And Jeff's talked me into this, but I'm gonna go ahead and almost kill my
Bottle kill.
27.
Redbreast 27 bottle kill.
It's almost,
Ah, well, then you just have to get a new one. Which batch version is that?
batch.
It's right there. 2.
They're up to number 4 now.
I don't know. We got 2 or 3 more upstairs. So
Oh, all right, well. You don't have to
because she
work.
drink because she drinks it like water. Between a Redbreast 21 and
It's
a
been
Redbreast
up on the
27.
shelf for months.
Rich, very high-end, rich tastes.
Thank you. I'm worth it.
She's worth it. She's worth it.
And now, are you fans of Dunvilles as well?
Well, yeah. I was lucky enough to go on the whiskey bus last year, and that was a big surprise. The Dunvilles, yeah, quite an industrious new distillery and amazing stuff that they're putting out.
Mhm.
And gosh, that crazy owner who has the warehouse full of tanks and everything else you can imagine. Just incredible.
Tanks and
I
8
just-
armored personal vehicles and
And
cannons.
Mini Coopers and just stupid. Well, no, incredibly stuff. Just a collector
Yeah.
of unique things.
I just picked up a bottle of the 10-year.
Good, isn't it? The PX?
No, the Palo Cortado.
Oh, the Palicore.
yeah, yep.
So that one, because I really liked their 20-year version of that. So I want to
Yes.
see if the 10-year was. So that's nice.
What's this one?
Is
I got a
the-
couple of the
is the 20
Dunvilles
year
when I
the
was there.
James Fox one,
Yeah.
Allan?
I'm sorry?
Is the 20-year the James Fox one? I can't remember.
There's the 20, there might even be a 21. They're all within that plus or
Yeah.
minus 20. There's 3 different.
Rosa Sherry
I think I can't
Cask.
remember which is which, to be honest with
Yeah.
you. The James Fox one is very good.
Yeah.
I had one at WhiskeyLive. But they all they're kind of all blending together a little bit.
I hear you.
That one, went with Limovati here.
What do you think? Have you had that before?
It's my first bottle. It's different. I mean, it's sourced still.
Yeah.
It's like a single cask, 46%, I think, single malt.
Yeah.
Joe,
I
with your background, I'm not going to share any bottles with you because you make them disappear if you move.
Oh, sorry.
That's the pseudo background.
Oh, yeah.
That's what happens. You can
Yeah.
make,
All good.
you
All
can
good.
make them disappear without drinking.
Oh, okay. I should try it this way. Oops. Yeah. Yeah, it's
There you go.
Yep.
I know a couple of you I know are going to be going to WhiskeyLive in May. Anybody else making the trip over? Hank, you going over?
Yeah, I'm going over, and my daughter's coming right after the end for her first trip to Ireland, so she's got a week off from her med training, and then so we're taking her to Donegal, and we'll go visit the Sleeve Lee guys. We'll probably go see JJ Corey with her and head back, and she only has a week, and then we're going to go hit the southeast. We're going to go Bar and Lauder. We'll go to see Dingle. We'll go see Graham and everybody. So it's going to be a long trip this time.
Yeah, I was going to say you're covering a lot of ground if you're going to Dingle and Donegal. And the
yeah,
south.
I did that last year. Drove all the way from the Bushmills to to Derry to Donegal to Dingle.
Yeah,
That
we
was,
skipped. We did a lot last year. We skipped Dingle, but we went from Donegal to Clare down to Cork areas. We went to Kinsale and Clonakilty, and then we went to Dungarvan and then back up. We're going to hit Dingle. We haven't been there the last couple trips, so we need to get back.
Need to go over to one of the other fingers and go to out to Port McGee, go out to the Skelligs.
We're going to go to Baltimora this time, I think.
You take the boat to the island there. They're not doing whiskey yet. They're doing gin still, I think, only.
Yeah, I drove by.
As long as I don't have to drive over Connor Pass again. So.
Yeah, Connor Pass is really beautiful on a clear day.
Walking.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
walking?
Just not driving.
Yeah, that's a tough drive. I was gonna say I'm not gonna really recommend that to anybody.
Our first trip to Ireland, we drove and I was learning the other side of the road and going up Connor Pass and crowded with cars, and a bus was coming. The bus told me they had the right of way, so I had to back up, and people in the back of me were honking. I didn't know which way to turn the wheel, and I'm like, I'm never driving in Ireland again. So then, like the last 3 or 4 trips, we just took the train everywhere. And then this trip to get to Donegal, the only way we could do it is the car, but we started from the airport. So, and then it was fine.
Yeah.
It was a totally different experience I had for the Connor Pass. It was like pretty empty. I drove right out of Dingle, drove up, no traffic. I parked at the top. I came down. I mean, it was really narrow coming down, but there was no other traffic coming from the north. Maybe it was just so early in the morning.
Well, that would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I was like, say, this is kind of cool. What's everybody complaining about?
Anyone else making any trips to Ireland this year? When are you guys going?
We're going in August. We're going to do a week in Scotland first, the 2 of us, and then we're going to go over to Ireland for a week. Do the whiskey bus.
Okay.
Again,
Yep.
With Barry Chandler.
That sounds like a good trip.
Yeah, Dee did it last year. I couldn't do it because we had just gotten back from Scotland for 2 weeks. And then she turned around and went back to Ireland to the whiskey bus. I'm like, you're retired. You go do what you want.
Yeah,
Somebody's got to, provide for you non-providers.
So particularly if she's only drinking Redbreast 21 and Redbreast 27.
Yeah.
You're never stopping working.
Yeah. Well, Frank and Bill, you'll be with me in Ireland in May, and we'll be hitting up WhiskeyLive at the end of the week.
All right, Bill.
Yeah, there you go.
Now, what sessions are you going to? Because I can't do the whole thing with you guys, but
so Monday we'll be in Dublin on the 15th.
But at WhiskeyLive, are you doing morning or day?
Oh,
or
I'm sorry. Yeah, for WhiskeyLive, we're going to do the afternoon session as a group on Friday.
Okay.
On Friday.
Okay, I'll be there because I'll be there Friday afternoon, and I'm going Saturday afternoon as well. So we'll find a way to meet.
Yeah, I'm going to do that as well. So the group is Friday afternoon, and then that's the official end of the trip.
Okay.
Heavy sigh.
Yeah. Well, you guys might be ready to. Cool. Well, we still have Friday night for everybody who's still got some energy left after a whole week.
Yeah.
But are you going to do any of the master classes?
I'm skipping them this year. I went last year, and it was with some of the folks that I knew. The best one though, go to the Furcullen one because I don't know if enough people know them. And the last time they had poured for so many people that they just said take what you want, and they had poured for Furcullen 16. So I got like 5 of those.
There you go. Yeah, I didn't think there weren't really any new ones this year, and I think it'll be good for people at it. But we're going to be at Powers Court on Tuesday for the day.
Yeah.
So you know, and then some of the things we're gonna be doing anyway, so, less interest, because I don't think they've done they've done that one time, but,
Yeah.
yeah, I thought it was funny that the one that sold out right away was the Pappy.
Always. Good. Yeah, I think there's going to be so many more people there that it's just there's more time to just spin up the place.
Yeah, I kind of like, because it's gotten so big, I found that if you do the master classes, it takes you away from being able to talk to people and hit the booth. So I think the last year I did the one that started an hour before the session.
Yeah, I did one of those. Yeah.
So that way you're not missing out on any of the booths.
Yeah.
But,
and I was going to do one with Dingle. I just dropped out because I went to their booth and Graham's like, "Here's everything we're going to have." So.
Yeah, it's funny. I kind of figured that, but I signed up anyway because it starts ahead of it, and I think it might just be because that booth gets so crazy too. So last year I went there first, and I felt like I was monopolizing Graham's time. So I figure if I hit it in the master class, I won't have to take him away from everybody else. I have to make some decisions this year, though. I'm going to go there in August. I got to decide what to do with my cask.
Oh, is it time?
Yeah, it'll be over 10 years.
Okay.
So I'll sample it again, and then maybe make plans to do something the following May when I'll probably be back there.
How does their program work?
Well, that's kind of what I got to talk to them about, because I don't know anybody who's done it that isn't in Ireland.
Yeah.
So it's, as far as getting it here, I guess, is the issue.
But will they do a buyback? Like the ones I'm in, they'll buy it back.
Oh yeah, they would do that. I'm not going to do that.
But you're going to bring it.
Yeah.
You're trying to figure out how.
I'm going to bottle it. I just have to figure out how I'm going to get the bottles here.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I'll start to plant that seed a little bit, maybe later this year. Give them notice and see how that might work, because I think it's changed a couple times. When I first started talking to them a number of years ago, that they've changed distributors, and then COVID hit, and so it's just kind of see how it's going to work now. Now they're with Hodling here. So, but yeah, now it's I can't believe it's been 10 years already.
Wow.
Oh.
So.
Yeah, I bought a cask from Black's because I was going to Kinsale and I didn't know about any of the cask programs. I like their experimentation, but it's kind of like there's no history with those guys. They're beer makers that also do whiskey.
Yep.
And then I just did one with Sleeve League because I really like what James is doing and his whole Pete story and everything. And this is kind of cool. What?
I was going to say, there are a lot of people that'll tell you that the beer makers are the ones that ultimately make the best whiskey.
Yeah. I mean, I've tasted some of the stuff that Black's is making, and it's good. And there's like you get a share of a cask, so you can sell it all back. I'm still getting a bunch of bottles, and I refer to a friend, and I'm getting bottles from that. And with Sleeve League, they'll say if you want 6 bottles from your cask, we'll buy the rest, which will be pretty cool.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think when I talked to Graham a year ago when I was there, he mentioned, you could split it, so you could bottle partial cask and then continue to age it, that kind of thing. But I need to talk to them more about that, because when I talked to them about labels, they were saying, well, you can't do multiple labels. And I'm thinking, well, if I'm going to split it like that, it's obviously going to be different.
Right.
So it's going to have, so little, devil's in the details, that kind of thing. But because I thought that might be an intriguing idea, do it at like 10 or 11 years and then maybe do it again at 15 or something. but we'll see. I have
What's
to,
everyone's favorite pub in Dingle?
oh, depends on what day of the week it is. So, I mean, I liked Dick Max a lot 6-7 years ago. It's gotten way too popular. If you're there on a weekend, it's tough. But if you're there during the week, I still like it. But I like Foxy John's.
Is that the one with the hardware store?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in the Dingle pub, and I didn't go into Dick Max because it looked so crowded. And the next night I went in there and found out that in the newspaper the following day that Garth Brooks had been in there the night it was crowded.
Oh,
Yeah, it's gotten really popular. When I was first going to Dingle, when I first did the Cask, it was just a Dingle pub. It didn't even have a whiskey collection. And one of the founding fathers, that the original ones because we were in Dingle for the founding fathers school the first year. Peter White, and he actually he became president of the Irish Whiskey Society Dublin, and he basically really launched and grew the whiskey program at Dick Max and turned them into one of the more prominent whiskey bars in Ireland. And now it's super popular and packed all the time. So if you can get in there either during the day or during the week, where you can actually kind of sit down and enjoy it, it's a great place. Go there on a weekend though, there's a lot of hen parties and other things. It happens at all the places. They're not unique in that regard, but it's much more enjoyable if it's not.
Yeah, Foxy John's was kind of good. They had a band playing there, but it was still kind of crowded. And the Dingle pub was like they had some guy doing Irish dancing or something. It was just too crowded. But that night, the Dick Max was a much better place. It was quiet. So
yeah, all depends.
My favorite, it was the one that was in that show, the Irish pub. Oh, it's just up the road.
Yeah, I know where it is, and I can't think of the name.
We've met so many great people in that pub. I can't believe I can't remember it either.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a big town, so it doesn't take much for the pubs to get very crowded, especially during the tourist season, and then on the weekends when everybody's coming to town. A lot of weddings, so. But definitely recommend going. If I'm looking forward to when the distillery gets back up and running. I shouldn't say that. It's running when it opens again for tourists, because it's been closed now for a few years.
Yeah, I was disappointed with that. I talked to the owner, and they were saying that it was because of their whole dispute with the city of trying the expansion and why they weren't doing tours. And it was part of my reason, not only to see Dingle, but to see the distillery. So,
yeah, I don't know what it's kind of odd, because when they started up there, they really brought a lot to Dingle. So now that they're kind of going through the hassle of trying to expand it a little bit, it's a little curious.
Yeah, Currents, I found it.
Okay. Yeah, I know exactly where it is. Yeah, I wonder if that's the same. The owner from the last pub documentary is still.
Yeah, it is. He's still there. He was there the last time I went. I mean, we haven't gone the last 2 years, but he was there, and like everyone harasses him for being a moving star. So it's a cool place. Met a guy and talked about the life of a fisherman for 3 hours one time.
Nice. Now, I think he has a cask from Dingle.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
I thought, yeah. Speaking of which, all right, so I'm going to go to bottle 3, Bottle Kill. This is the Dingle Core Expression Single Malt.
I've yet to find that anywhere.
Yeah,
Core expression.
What do
Yeah.
you think of that one, Alan?
I like it. You know, it's got it's got a nice balance between the sherry and the bourbon. You know, I think it's one of only, there are two, this and Teeling, the two non-age Sexton is the other one, you know, non-age statement single malts that are out there.
Right.
It's kind of a core expression. Yeah, I be honest with you, my frustration with it is more the availability, because you can't, it isn't in Massachusetts yet.
Oh,
Yeah.
the bottle kill.
So third bottle kill of the night, but that was the goal, as I said at the onset. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
need
had
to get
that-
back to it. When I first had it, I didn't really love it. I'm sorry.
yeah, no, it's I have another bottle of it that I brought back with me. So I haven't had it in a while, so we'll see.
Yeah, I had it at Dick Max, so.
Do you like the other Dingle expressions, Hank?
I like, yeah, I do. Like they're I just got the Samhain, the new ones that they're doing.
Yeah. And that's I know this. Wait a minute, it's pronounced Samhain.
Okay, Samhain.
Yeah.
And the
was-
the Britty is in my box at James Fox. Wait until I have enough to order to offset the shipping.
Okay, I have a bottle of that as well. I haven't opened it yet. We did the Samhain at year end, and I think people like that. So yeah, I think the next thing they're going to do from a core expression standpoint will probably be a core pot still. But I don't know I talked to them months ago, and they said everything was in the warehouse and ready to go, and it still hasn't made its way around the states, from what I can tell. And they had the small batches were in Massachusetts, so I don't know why Hodling hasn't got them into here. So
Yeah, I don't know about the small batch. I got that at Dublin, thought it was a find, then I come home and actually my local has it, but it was actually much cheaper at duty free.
yeah,
But that was like small batch 5 of the single malt, but I'm really wanted the pot still.
Yeah.
yeah, they stopped all the small batches, so I think they'll probably, similar to what they do with the single malt, they'll do a single pot still core probably within a year, I would think, or maybe that could even be launched this year as part of WhiskeyLive, maybe, who knows.
Yeah.
I heard they have a Peated coming out too.
Yep. Yeah, I'm wondering if that'll be part of this collection that they're doing, because that's going to be a 2-year. There are 9 releases as part of this festival celebration, I guess is what.
Yeah.
Something of the sun or the moon or the seasons
so,
or whatever.
If the
Any reason to have 9 different releases, you have to buy all of them. But that's all right. It's all good stuff.
So you can collect all the bottles.
There you go. It's all good stuff. So I've had a single pot still. I've had a single malt. So I did the Gold Rush from JJ Corey that they did with the US guys, Folsom.
Yeah.
Love this with the mezcal finish. And then I'm going to end with my favorite easy drinking blend for Colonnade.
All right. And I haven't seen it yet. I know I posted that it was coming, but the For Cullen Falls is supposed to be on the shelves. I thought all this stuff, because it got released in January, I thought it would, they were all trying to get them on the shelves ahead of St. Patrick's Day, but I haven't actually seen it yet.
See, but I live in North Carolina, so whenever you talk about anything on the shelves in America, I just ignore it because we don't carry crap here.
It's funny. I was thinking of you the other day because there was a big story. I was going to just message it to you about how much alcohol sales have gone up in North Carolina. And I thought it was funny because I was thinking, But Hank always says the stores are horrible, so people are either really drinking or you're just ordering a lot from James Fox, but that wouldn't count in the tally, so I don't know where.
Yeah, it's ordering a lot from James Fox.
Is that deal that good from James Fox or?
Well, so Allan negotiated 10% off, and it's 10% off everything.
Oh yeah, I'm aware of
Yeah,
that.
both they and Irish Malt have reasonable shipping. So if you buy about 4 bottles of if you're buying everything like $30 less, but if you're buying like the whiskey we're drinking tonight, if you buy 4 bottles, it's almost a wash when you take out the VAT and put in the shipping. And then the other thing with them is if I order something on Monday, it's here on Thursday.
Yeah, James Fox is unbelievable in terms of their turnaround.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've looked at their
Irish Malt is pretty
website, but
Yeah, if any of you have, if you're interested in stuff you can't get here, we have the member discounts for both Irish Malt and James Fox, as well as other discounts. So take advantage of them.
Yeah, and Irish Malt also has very reasonable shipping. For me, Celtic Whiskey Shop used to ship here. They don't ship to North Carolina anymore, but it's like they're double the price to ship. It makes no sense. I can't even go there.
Yeah, they got hit. For whatever reason, when Brexit hit, well, they couldn't deliver it all for a year, and then when they brought it back, their rates, I never could really figure it out because all during COVID, James Fox was able to deliver within a few days. So
right.
But
I mean, I find the same with Irish Whiskey Auctions. Actually, if I buy stuff from them again, I'm just going to ask them to ship it to James Fox and have them ship it to me because it's a fraction of the price.
I'll be damned.
Yep.
yeah,
Good to know.
Celtic Whiskey
Good to
Shop.
know.
Yeah, just the shipping is just too high from what I looked, but no. But I've been trying to look at the. Sorry.
Yeah. We send stuff to Anthony at Irish Whiskey Auctions because he ships to us, but we get a 25% discount when we do it. So
Nice.
You may want to check. I don't even know if that's better than James Fox, frankly. And I mean, I buy so much from them. Like I say, like when this stuff, if places don't ship. So like JJ Corey has a club now, and it's only for people in Ireland. But
Right.
I've had so much of their stuff that I'm like, can I join the club and you ship it to James Fox and they'll send it to me? And they're like, sure.
yeah.
So
Yeah, Louise will send stuff to Irish Whiskey Auctions for us.
yeah, same type of thing.
And Celtic Whiskey sends it to Irish Whiskey Auctions for us because they know Celtic Whiskey doesn't deliver here either.
Yeah.
So when I go to James Fox in a couple months, I'm gonna go and just say, what you have here is great, but can I see the Hank collection in the back?
Well, now that the e-commerce shop is at a different location, so that's
Oh,
made
that's
things
right,
pretty
yeah.
complicated. They moved to a new place, so like people get the addresses confused, and they're like, "They got something else for you at the shop, Hank." And didn't you update him with the address?
Have you been to the new warehouse where they're? Yeah, I've only been to the shop. I haven't been to the. I thought it's because it's not in the city. It's out.
Yeah, and it's not really a storefront. They're sharing space with some company called Ampersand because I thought it was just like some Irish thing where you, instead of putting the ampersand, you spelled ampersand, but that's the company. And like one thing, the guys came and they're trying to find, so the e-commerce manager is a guy named Pete. And I addressed it to him and they're trying to find him and they're like, no one had any idea, but they figured it out after a day. So.
Yeah, Pete's a good guy. One of the members just asked about the discount codes, so I hooked him up this week. Yeah, the one thing, just if anyone's interested in James Fox, the only criteria is you just got to let me know. You have to register. You just sign up for an online account with them, but then I have to get approval with Pete just to let him know that you're actually a member, and then the discount code gets activated.
Yeah, I think I did that a while back, but never ordered yet.
Yeah, once you do it the first time, you're good. But
is there a minimum or
No.
that makes the best deal? I mean,
You
can
got
make
to
it
do at least 4 bottles for it to make sense. And anything above 4, it's even better.
And why is that mathematically wise?
So I don't know the exact percentages, but so you don't pay the VAT. But like 4 bottles, I think is around 60 or 70 euro shipping. Maybe a little bit higher. So if you're buying something like, if you're buying a €80 or $80 bottle, it ends up being $60, and then you start it becomes a wash. Right?
Yeah,
now, I got is as close to a wash as buying at a store and paying sales tax.
Yeah, I got you there. Yeah, it's I was looking at the 2 stacks, that double Irish cream, and I can't find it on their local, their links, and the shipping, the bottle's like, say, $26 or something like that, but the shipping's like 50, and it's just not worth economically to.
You don't ever buy one. You gotta be buying 4. And Irish Malts has the 2 stacks Irish cream, because that's what my wife drinks.
Yeah, I think I looked at that there the other night, but.
And they're very similar in shipping price, and you also have the discount there too. Right? Isn't it the same, Alan? They say it.
Yep.
Yes, we know
I did an order from them, and it said it's 10% off shipping, but they actually took 10% off the order.
It's only. Oh, I was gonna say I thought it was the opposite. I thought it was 10% off the whiskey and not off the shipping. But
that's a better deal. That's a better deal than just discounting the shipping.
If you have $300 for 60 or something like that.
Right.
But yeah, it'll be interesting because all these new distilleries are, trying to break into the market. So we'll see if there'll be more stuff available here in the next.
I just wish that some of the links, like like Dingle and Clonakilty, have their own links for U.S. shipping, but their availability is limited. Like Clonakilty actually has a good selection for their U.S. shipping website, so you don't get very low shipping. But like Dingle, it only has some old stuff. It doesn't get into the core or anything like that. So it'd be nice they actually updated their stock and made it easier, vice having to ship from Ireland.
Yeah, well, in both, I can address both of those a little bit. So Dingle, their old stock, the only way you're going to get that really, because they don't make it anymore. So if they have it, you can order it from them that way. Otherwise, you just have to get lucky and find, the old batch stuff on the shelves, because what they're making now is the core expression and then the festival releases, and those aren't.
Oh yeah, but I'm saying the new stuff is not on their US website. It's only the old stuff that's on the website.
The new stuff should be it should be in the stores though. Like in California is the one state that has the core release.
I haven't seen it yet. At least I mainly go to like Bevmo and Total Wines. Might be the locals. They're like.
Because I want to say Folsom's had it, some others have it, so I don't know about Total.
It's only that's an 8, but probably Folsom's is up north, so it's probably like an 8-hour drive.
They ship to North Carolina. They'll ship down to you. Folsom has get a Gold Rush from Folsom.
Yeah, I've looked at the Bottle Bar and some of the others, so it's just I was hoping they'd have locals. I have some local shippings like Mission and Del Mesa, I think it is, in San Diego. They're relatively close, but
Folsom has their own Dingle cask now too.
Yep.
Good.
Oh, really?
I'll have to look into
Folsom does, yeah.
Yeah, they've had it.
Are they selling it on their site?
Yeah, it's over a year. It was about a year ago they came out with that. It was one of the I forget the exact mash bill on it, but it's on their site.
Okay, I'll look at it.
Yeah,
I'll be looking at that after this.
The Clonakilty, by the way, though, so Clonakilty they were one of the leaders in terms of U.S. presence.
Oh yeah, they got a great website. So,
no, I'm talking about in the stores here. The exception was California. California, ironically, was the state they weren't really in. They just got a new distributor though, that's going to cover the states that they weren't in, because they were, one of the Scullys lives in Oregon, and they're huge, and they're big in Florida, they're big in Massachusetts, they're everywhere, but they weren't in California, and they just got a new distributor, so they're going to be, I think, all over California in the next few months. So you should be.
I don't think there's anything I haven't bought from them. I got their grain that's supposedly good, the single malt, which I haven't opened, the Twin Oak, which I tried at Dick Max, or
That's
double
good.
oak or whatever, which is really good, and then the port cast. But the only thing else out there is like their beer finish ones, and I
So
actually
they-
contacted them the other day, then in O'Hara, but they said that's only an Irish.
Yeah, well, most of they've done beer cask finish all over the country. So
Right. We've done about 12. I think I have all of them. Because I was actually talking to Sean and I was suggesting, and I'd love to see a show of hands. I told him he should do a collaboration club, right? Of people that they allocate some bottles from these collaborations and you have the choice to take it or not. Because I've had, like, my daughter went to Portland and I had her pick up a bottle because they've done 2 with a place in Portland, and they don't advertise them very well. I was visiting, she lives in Pennsylvania. They did one with Pennsylvania. So they have a core that they've advertised, but would people be interested in a collaboration club with them where you get notice of early releases of that stuff?
They did that Old Glory in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
I had a couple of bottles of that. It was
Is that any good or?
Oh yeah, it was really good.
The Manor Hill Porter is unbelievable, which I think you can get in a lot of very different places. The O'Hara's one is interesting.
Yeah, that's why I seen them post that the other day, but they say that's only they contacted me, said it's only an Ireland release, so it's not going to be
They may
US
have it
release.
in Irish malts now. I think I may have seen that. I was just perusing the site, not that I look for buying whiskey all the time, but
Oh no, never.
Hey folks, I'm gonna be taking off. It's good seeing you all, and glad we got a chance to have a taste together on this special day. So, Alan, we'll see you soon, and everybody take care of yourself.
Launch Bill.
Bye bye now. Salante, folks.
Yeah, I'll be leaving
Bye-bye
too.
now.
Take care, guys.
All right, Don. Thanks for joining. Yeah, well, I wanted on the Clonakilty thing. I just a follow-up question, Hank, because I had sent you, I think, or got you a bottle of the Jack Abbey.
Yeah.
How'd you find that one?
it's really good. I compared it because that's a porter also. And the Manor Hill is probably my favorite, and the Jack Abbey. And then they did one with, I think it's Bill Pitts that's out of Pittsburgh. So I've had them side by side. They're all pretty good. I don't know if the Jack's Abbey is quite as good as the Manor Hill. That one sort of is like the top of my charts.
Okay. Yeah, they've done they did one out of Connecticut too. I can't remember the beer now. I want to say, thought they did a Connecticut one.
Was it an IPA probably?
Might have been. But
yeah, I think they've done 12 and I got all 12.
I'll be curious if they, to what extent they continued. I mean, they were kind of I would attribute them to the beer finishes. I mean, I know Jameson started it technically, and Teeling I would give credit for the wine finishes, even though now it's pretty popular. But I wonder if Clonakilty will keep doing it once they start releasing their spirit, because it makes sense why they did it. But when they start releasing their pot still, I would think they'd want to, let the spirit shine through a little bit more than the beer finish.
Yeah.
Do you know when that's going to happen? Sorry.
You go.
I was just going to say when.
Go ahead, Joe.
I was just going to say, do you have any information on when they're going to release their own spirit?
Not officially, no. I don't think, would it shock me if suddenly this year they release something? No, but I'm not expecting it either. I think they're I think they're comfortable. They've got stuff that's of age, but I think they, as long as they're able to sell their beer finish stuff and the source stuff, I think they're comfortable letting their pot still age and releasing it at the right time. Now, could we see a surprise, something at WhiskeyLive this year? Who knows? I wouldn't be shocked by it.
Yeah.
I mean, are they going to keep the names still the core names? Like I know Dunville is going to change to Ecklandville when they start doing their sourced.
Well, no. So Ecklandville though it's never going to get rid of Dunville's. It's their.
Oh yeah.
So Dunville's is going to be their sourced stuff. Ecklandville is theirs. So they'll continue, even though they're going to have their own stuff. They're going to continue to source under the Dunville's name. So that's a little bit of a unique thing, you know, but we're getting to that point with a lot of these guys where they're, you know, like tealing the pot stills of their own stuff. The other parts of their core range were sourced. So they've got to kind of introduce that in, and that could change.
Yeah.
Same thing. I think with Clonakilty, you'll see their stuff go away, some of them, you know, because they already got rid of the single grain.
Oh yeah, I bought it like one of the last bottles available.
That was one of the, I really liked that grain. So yeah,
I think it was based on your video what you had, one of the historical videos. I said I better buy this while I can, and then it disappeared.
So they'll they'll mix them out and they'll bring in their new stuff, because they're all a lot of them are gonna have to go through it, and they'll all do it maybe a little bit differently. It'll be interesting.
Question I was going to ask, I've had a couple of American whiskeys. One is from a distillery in Pittsburgh, and one's from a distillery outside of Charlotte, where the mash bill is basically a beer mash bill. They use like a porter mash bill or others, but then they distill it like whiskey, and they're actually really, really good.
Okay.
And I was trying to find if any place else has done it, because I was kind of shocked by how good both of them have been.
No, I haven't heard of it and I have not tried it, but sounds very interesting.
Yeah, the one in Charlotte, I don't think they have any more bottles. The distillery in Pittsburgh, if anyone's around there, it's called Wiggle. And they make all kinds of crap. I mean, it's the amount of different things they make is kind of interesting, but theirs was called St. Nick's, and it was based off like a barley wine mash bill, and it was pretty nice.
Well, I just had an in-home tasting last weekend and did 2 American whiskeys as part of the lineup. One was Chicago's Koval.
Yeah, which one?
We did the 4 grain.
Okay.
Which was kind of their original. Then they kind of split them up and did them individually. But I'm just a big fan of what they're doing. They're very different.
Have you had their oat and their millet? Both of those?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got the 4 grain originally because of the oat, because they were like the first ones to do anything with oat before, you know, now oat, everyone's trying oat, but a high percentage of oat and, you know, no corn. So I really liked that bottling. And then the other one we did was the Ransom, the Emerald from Ransom, which is the, you know, original Irish single pot still recipe. So we killed off a bottle of that.
So maybe with the small group, can I ask, because there's one for me, but is there a bottle of whiskey that you're like craving to get and can't find a way to get it?
I want to say yes. I can't think of what it is, because I was doing this the other day. I was trying to get something and I can't remember what I was trying to get, and I was frustrated. There's always something I want that I have a hard time getting my hands on. I'm always trying to finagle and how can I do it? What was it? Oh, I know. It's funny how some things kind of work out. So the new Method and Madness, the Rye and Malt US release only.
Okay, I haven't seen that one.
So have you found it?
Yes. So
yeah, I mean, I think that was in Chicago. I don't know. I picked up a few bottles of that.
It was a US only release. It's different than the European and Irish release. So if you got
heavier rye, right?
What's that?
Drink it all.
The heavier rye?
Well, no, it's more that was a double distilled. It was the big difference. The one for America's triple distilled. It was actually made in the micro distillery. So the one in Ireland is different in a couple ways, and then they only did 5,000 bottles in America for this new release.
Yeah.
So the allocation, they sold out immediately. So, but answer your original question, I did an interview with Jared a couple weeks ago that I'm going to post on the site and YouTube channel as part of March Madness, because we went through the whole the Method of Madness range and talked about the new one. But the delivery to Massachusetts, something happened and I couldn't get it, and I got nervous that because they got all tied up with Reserve Bar too. So they had a few down in Florida, so I had a relative, I had it sent to the relative who's going to be coming back from her vacation in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So I'll get it then. I actually have I've got this that Jared gave me. So I have had it. I have the original bottle from Ireland. I haven't done a side by side yet of it to kind of see if I can taste the difference. But
Cool.
It was good. It wasn't real. I mean, the rye wasn't real forward in it.
Which one did you have the one from Ireland or the one from here?
No, the US release.
You did get it. Okay.
Yeah, we had a couple bottles and drank them both. So
Probably got it from Benny's, right? If you were in
Yes.
Chicago.
Yep,
they're
Benny's.
sold out now. But yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if I'm upset or not that I'm not closer to Benny's.
Yeah. I hear you.
That's a
Their
dangerous
inventory
place.
Their inventory is, well, I like them for a couple of reasons. One, they get everything. Their inventory is unbelievable. They do, their own, releases stuff. But then the other thing I like is that they move product. So if something's not moving, they discount it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the end of bin. Man,
Yeah.
some of the end of bin things that I picked up are just been like, holy mother, this is on end of bin?
Yeah, so you can pick up. So like when I'm trying to do tastings and stuff and just get bottles, it's like that's the way to go. It's like if something's not selling, discount it and move it. And they do that. They're one of the few that I've seen that do that.
Yeah, my daughter was only there for a year, but I got a Kilbeggan 16-year single grain there. I got a Teeling acacia wood finish that's unbelievable. I got a Teeling pot still and several others. That was just great.
Yeah,
I have kind of a.
They ever delivered, they probably wouldn't have any inventory, but.
I have kind of a horror story about Benny's. Way back when Grinzel's Wood first came out, they called me. Well, I was actually online with them because I knew Joe, the guy there at Lincoln Square or Lincoln Park, and he's I would ordered a bunch of Irish whiskey bottles. He goes, I got this new thing in. It's called Grinzel's Wood, Der Gaelic, blah blah. Grinzel's Wood. I don't know what the hell to do with it. Are you interested? Yeah. and I got it, and then it was Tree 1, bottle 24, and I stuck it on the shelf. And I had a whole bunch of other Der Gaelics, and it just kind of got lost. And then this guy online says, I would love to have that bottle. I'll give you $500 for it. Yeah, that's twice what I got in it. Okay. So I traded him for, $500 for it. And this was, I don't know what, 5-6 years ago. That freaking bottle went for like $8,500 at auction.
Yeah,
not my bottle, not bottle 24, but Grinzel's Wood, Tree 1.
That's probably why I'm glad I don't have anything that's not open in my house.
Yeah, you'd be crying.
I stay off the auction sites. That way you don't know what you're missing.
So I gotta say, hey, I doubled my money, and I bought 2 bottles for the one I had.
That works.
But yeah.
So I'm on the hunt for a Karak sake finish.
Ooh.
Okay.
So they did a release where it was, I think it's the Wakame, and then only for Singapore, they released it there where they finished it in a sake cask. And I tried it at WhiskeyLive, and I've been hunting for friends in Singapore and everything. And I have a neighbor, we just had a party for Mardi Gras, and he's got a guy who lives there who's coming for his business. And it looks like there's at the shop that has another bottle or two. So I'll keep you guys posted if I actually get it. But like I've talked to the guys from Origin, and they're like, we only released it there. They're saying they may release something later this year that's based on that finish more broadly. But if you like the original Karak stuff, be on the lookout for that in case that comes out at the end of the year.
I've got a pilot friend who does a lot of overseas. He only does overseas trips really. So he's in Japan a lot too, but because he's picked me up a few things. I'll let him know to keep an eye.
It's at a place called the Whiskey Store. That's the only place you can really get it there.
Yeah, we're gonna do the original version that they released coming up as part of a March Madness tasting. There's a sneak preview for you, Frank.
What is this March Madness tasting you keep referring to?
So that's just something I'm gonna do at my house.
Oh, okay.
Allan, where do you live in Boston? What part of Boston do you live in?
I'm in Waltham actually, so it's about 20 miles.
Yeah.
You know,
I lived in Wyndham, New Hampshire for 8 years before I moved to North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
I used to work in Framingham and Westport and Peabody.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna just do a little Elite Eight crazy, let's get crazy March Madness theme kind of thing. So it's gonna be some Method and Madnesses and some other exotic stuff.
So is the 8 the whiskey, or is Frank one of the Elite 8? That's what I really want to know.
It's just I have a couple of crazy stuff that I've been waiting to do, and then I've got enough Method and Madness, some of the real exotic stuff, not the core range, and so I just like, I don't know how to make the cut here, so I'm not like the NCAA committee, it's like you're on the bubble. It's like, we'll just make it an Elite 8 and we'll
I think Oats and Malt may win it all.
That one is
you
not
need to do it blind. Do it blind.
Oats and Malt was part of the breakfast tasting I did a couple weeks ago. I'm not including that in this one. That's not crazy enough. That's not that. That's almost standard fare for them. We're talking wild cherry, mulberry, cedarwood, Hungarian. Okay. Those are the stuff that are more exotic.
So those, like the cherry and the acacia are my favorite. The acacia and bourbon's pretty nice. The blended one.
Okay.
I think it's acacia and bourbon, right? Isn't that the one I found that at an auction, I think.
Yeah. I've had that one a few years. The stuff, the two Japanese ones they did most recently, both the chestnut Japanese is excellent. And the cedarwood is very interesting. It's like
it's unique. It'll stand out for it.
It's like smelling a shoehorn.
If you've ever there's a Swedish whiskey, Svenski Rock, McMyra Svenski Rock.
Okay.
And basically they char the wood with juniper. Have a Svenski Rock and then have the cedarwood. It's an interesting combination to have together.
They're it's funny you said so Teeling did a one of their European release, a gin finish one.
I have 3 bottles of that.
Really? See, so
I love it.
Okay, so I did that at an in-home, outdoor tasting. I don't know if I did it last summer or the summer before now. Can't remember, but the general consensus was it was okay, but it tasted like gin.
Yeah. So to me, it's the perfect summer gin whiskey, right?
Right.
And so, when I got that, I had some little barrels, and I actually threw a bunch of drum shambo in one of my little barrels. And then, like whiskeys that I don't love, like I hate what's the one that the non-age statement single malt, the Sexton. I hate Sexton. I can't stand it. I threw it in there, and it became tolerable.
That's funny. That's the best-selling single malt, Irish single malt.
Unbelievable.
And I gotta, because it's approachable, non-age statement, price point. Those the Bushmill people, they figured something out, because between that and the proper 12 and You know,
Can't drink that
It
Protestant
was
whiskey.
branding in the logo. Although I think the first time I had Sexton, it was in a bar that we ran into in Dublin when it was raining. It was a fancy bar, and I think they charged me like €13 for it. And yeah, for Sexton. That was the end.
do you like sherried whiskeys generally? And because that one's like a pretty sherried whiskey.
Yeah. I buy the 21C every year.
Okay.
Because my wife works with special needs, and my neighbor, my drinking buddy, his daughter has Down syndrome. And I think it was the second or third year, the nose of it was awful. It was almost like a bad sherry thing. So we were all like anti-sherry, and then we'd start drinking stuff where the sherry was pretty nice in it. And I like sherry forward. I don't like sherry softening. I like a lot.
It's interesting you bring up the 21C because they didn't do one last year.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard anything about this year either, because usually it was a WhiskeyLive thing. And I haven't usually he kind of
when it got canceled, they had one, but they didn't do one. So they had one last year. It's better than the one before that.
I have a bottle of the latest one, but I'm wondering, I haven't heard anything about one coming up. And
I haven't either.
They tease it a few months ahead of time, so I haven't heard anything. I'd have to ask Allie about that.
All right, I got to go watch the hockey game.
Yeah, I got to go find out if my team won. It's
go Canes, not Bruins. Go Canes.
Oh, I'm talking college tonight.
Oh, okay.
The Irish were playing again in the Big Ten tourney starts tonight. So, but no, thanks for joining in. We kind of just maybe I'll make this a tradition because next year this will probably fall on a Saturday. So who knows? But you guys enjoy St. Patrick's Day. We've got some stuff coming up. I'm trying to work out an April event virtual. So I'll put some stuff out when I finalize details. But then we got the May trip where we'll see some of you in Dublin, and then in June we're going to do another virtual tasting mid-June, and that's kind of as far as I've got. I'll line up stuff for the second half of the year once I get past once I'm in Dublin for WhiskeyLive, I'll line up the stuff for second half of the year.
Yeah, the trip would have been great, except that's the same time as my daughter's graduation at NYU.
Yeah, so I'll find out from Allie if he's going to switch to make it May a permanent thing now again. But this actually, I think too, I keep forgetting to ask him. I believe that this is the 10th anniversary.
Wow.
So they haven't promoted it as such, but I believe because they canceled one that last year would have been, but because they missed one. So I think this might be the 10th because I've been to every one of them. So, so I'll see, if I don't see, I'll see some of you there.
Sounds great.
Okay. All right. Again,
thanks everyone.
Happy Irish Whiskey Day. We'll talk soon.
Thank you, Allan.
Thank you.
Plancha to everyone.